Hi, this is Thundy from Booredatwork.com.
And this is Snatch Hatch, and we're bringing up to you the Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, and Best Actress nominations for the Academy Awards.
Yes, this is the second part. I hope you guys enjoyed the first part of our rubbish picks this year. You know, we can drinking too much water and juice around here. But anyway, let's get right into the mix of things. So the first category we're going to cover is the Best Actress.
Best Actress this year consists of Sandra Bullock for The Blind Side, Helen Mirren for The Last Station, Carey Mulligan for An Education, Gabori Sidibe for Precious, and Meryl Streep for Julie and Julia. Now, personally, I'm thinking this group, it isn't as fine as some of the other groups.
It's better than Best Supporting Actress. Anyway.
It's better than Best Supporting Actress. You know, everybody's giving a lot of support for Sandra Bullock for The Blind Side.
Yeah.
There was nothing that really wowed me about Sandra Bullock in this film. She was herself with a southern accent.
I mean, probably the case, but I think what it is that in that movie people saw her in a different setting. They always, you know, Sandra Bullock was the very wholesome but also slightly gung-ho girl in Hollywood. You know, of all the lead actresses with, you know, Julia Roberts and the rest of them, she's the one who could do more physical stuff. And this is a movie where she kind of brought that motherly side to it and brought that homely nature, you know, which is probably why people are mentioning that. But
I mean, I can understand that as well, but it's hard to really compete when you have the most decorated actress currently alive in the Academy history.
Yes.
And you're up against her.
Do you think they would give it to her?
Well, I'm talking, of course, about Meryl Streep for Julie and Julia. Now, that's the kind of role that when you see her, you immediately believe she is Julia Child throughout the film.
Yeah. And
there's not a question in your mind. And you kind of get that feeling like she should get an Academy Award for it, even though this is more of a laugh, comedic, wholesome film than something with a dark side. It's always had this warm feeling through it, and that's kind of makes it difficult for the Academy to accept.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, my personal belief is that Meryl Streep should win it, but I think Sandra Bullock's probably going to be the one that's chosen. I
agree. I think Meryl Streep, I mean, whatever she does, I think is just solid in general. The woman knows how to perform. It's quite simple. So, I agree with you. I think Meryl Streep should win, but
it's probably going to be Sandra Bullock. So why don't we move on to the Best Actor category from here. Now for Best Actor, we've got Jeff Bridges in Crazy Heart, George Clooney for Up in the Air, Colin Firth in A Single Man, we got Morgan Freeman for Invictus, and Jeremy Renner for A Hurt Locker. Now, who do you think is going to be going with this?
I like Jeremy Renner in A Hurt Locker. I watched that movie and he played this guy at war that, you know, he looked like he was just the ace, the gung-ho guy, and you realize he had issues, but he just did it his own way, you know. And he played a role where a lot of people face that when you go to war, or even in our lives, we do things like that. And it was very slick to me. It was very, you know. At the end, you realize, you know, this guy had issues. I think for me, that's my pick.
But here's my thought with this: is when I was watching Jeremy Renner do this, it was kind of like watching a precursor to the movie SWAT. Like, he's come back from war, now he needs a job, so he goes to LA and becomes a SWAT officer. He has that same kind of gung-ho feel, loner feel to him, and I really didn't feel like it was any kind of a stretch for him as an actor. Now, on the other hand, the Academy tends to go for actors who stretch themselves not only in an acting sense and a character sense, but also in a song sense. And Jeff Bridges for A Crazy Heart, where he actually has to perform and sing his own songs, that's kind of falls in the same vein as Ray and Walk the Line. Now, the Academy tends to go after that. I think that Jeff Bridges really deserves it for his past body of work. And combined with that, he's probably going to get it for this. He probably is very well deserved.
Now, what about Golden Boy, George Clooney?
Now, George Clooney showed more range than I've seen since ER.
Oh, God.
My good Lord. I've been begging for him to show some sort of a range emotionally, psychologically in film. And he's finally getting to that point where it's almost like he feels like his looks are going to fail him soon.
Yeah,
so he needs to start branching out. And he's really found his way with this in Up in the Air, and you really get your heart really pulls for him, and He's not going to win, but it's leading him to better places.
Okay.
I really like that.
So we say it's going to be Jeff Bridges.
I think Jeff Bridges is going to be the one, both from us and from the Academy.
Okay.
Move on to Best Director. We're actually looking at some uncharted territory here. Only the second African-American director in history and only the fourth female in history nominated for Best Director award. Of course, talking about Catherine Bigelow for Hurt Locker, and we're looking at Lee Daniels for Precious. Also on the list, James Cameron for Avatar, Quentin Tarantino for Inglourious Basterds, and Jason Reitman for Up in the Air.
Okay. Quickly, Inglourious Basterds remake, cancel that out.
Okay.
Avatar, sci-fi movie, it's no Lord of the Rings, so cancel that out.
I can also cancel out Jason Reitman. He hasn't really paid his dues in Hollywood yet. It's great that he got the nomination, but you see directors that have been around for a long time before they get there. Excellent example is Scorsese.
Yeah.
He was in the running for so many years before he finally got his Oscar. I really can cancel out Jason Reitman. That leaves us Lee Daniels and Catherine Bigelow.
Yes. I will take Lee Daniels.
Now see, when watching Precious, I saw a good movie from a directing standpoint. I didn't see anything amazing. On the other hand, A Hurt Locker, you could feel the heat of the desert. You could feel the apprehension of not knowing when death was going to come. Of that boredom followed by sudden adrenaline of action. She really kind of took us to the front lines with this.
Now, quickly, has a woman won the Best Director?
She has never. In fact, nobody's been nominated since Sofia Coppola for Lost in Translation.
Okay, this might be that, because again, the Academy likes to rewrite its wrongs in very funny ways. So this could be one of the situations where that adds to the cake, not just because she's female, but also she has a good movie too. I
mean, this is the hardest one to predict as far as the Academy goes, because they can go in so many different directions. Though I really believe The Hurt Locker is the one.
Okay.
So Hurt Locker is my pick, as well as I think the Academy is going to pick it.
Okay.
Okay.
For Best Director.
For Best Director. Now, Best Motion Picture, there's 10 this year. Why are there 10? Because they just wanted to make more money for films, I'm guessing. I do not know. So we are up for Avatar, The Blind Side, District 9, An Education, Hurt Locker, Inglourious Basterds, Precious, A Serious Man, Up, and Up in the Air. Now let's just start crossing off some right away. Up would never win because it's an animation. Animations rarely get nominated and have never won.
Yes.
Up in the Air, same reason as before, Jason Reitman really hasn't paid his dues yet here. A Serious Man, even though it's a good original script, it really isn't up for anything else. It doesn't really hold a lot of water.
Yeah.
It's kind of a token nod, I think, for the Coen brothers. Now, District 9...
Nah, that's my pick.
That's his pick. I really don't think that it could be a serious pick for best movie.
Yeah,
simply because usually best movie is also best director, and if it's not nominated for best director, it can't be really getting serious consideration. And I can take out The Blind Side as well. It's just too sweet of a story that
it had a very happy ending.
So that leaves us Avatar, An Education, A Hurt Locker, and Inglourious Basterds.
I haven't seen An Education. I still will strike out Avatar because I think the impact of that movie, comparison to the other two. Now take the other two movies that made $1 billion and above, which the Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, and Titanic, and those cleared the Academies. Those two movies had a whole changing effect in the way it played in theaters. Avatar just changed on one aspect, which would be special effects and 3D technology, mostly. It was a good movie, especially watching in 3D. If you didn't, then it was okay. So I don't see that winning in that category. I would strike it out just for that reason alone.
Now see, I tend to find the exact opposite, because the Academy will not give him Best Director because it wasn't anything special specifically dealing with direction.
Yes.
I mean, for cinematography, for animation, for editing, yes. But for Best Picture, he's going to get it simply because it's just too big. It's the elephant in the room, and everybody's staring at it.
See, I don't think so. I really think that it might be The Hurt Locker here. Just because it's actually too big of a film financially, but quality-wise, it doesn't stack up. I'm not saying Avatar's a bad movie. I've watched the movie, I'll watch it again, it's fun. But in comparison to a movie like Hurt Locker, where you see the editing of Hurt Locker was much better than Avatar.
It's true, it was.
Yes.
It was.
You know, Avatar again is a visual spectacle, and you look at Hurt Locker, it really, as a whole movie, you know, if you just can pass the whole thing, it really brought you there. Avatar did, but we need an extra medium called 3D. I mean, I think that might be the cancellation factor to say, if you can't make this movie normally and you needed this extra to put it there, then that might be the weighting factor.
But you also have to look at this too, that whenever James Cameron makes $1 billion film, it wins a ton of Academy Awards.
This is the second one, yeah, true.
So, and he's nominated for, I believe, 8 this time through. You have to think that there's going to be a lot of push for him here.
I mean, I agree, but see, this is how, I think this is how we should divide it. I think the Academy will pick Hurt Locker.
I think that the Academy is going to pick Avatar. Now, I personally believe The Hurt Locker is Best Motion Picture.
I agree too. And yeah, so that is our whole list of categories in the second installment of the show. We cover the Best Actress, Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Motion Picture.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Again, if you guys have any questions, comments, you think our picks are utterly useless, terrible, you don't agree with it, it's fine with me. Just leave comments. Subscribe to our YouTube page, our Facebook page, Twitter page, and also Google Buzz. It's Booredatwork, all 4 of them. And remember, always enjoy your entertainment.